Today on CV Gist, Matt Willis says Church of Scientology tried to split up his marriage to Emma. Devastated Pete Bennett says lonely Nikki Grahame had nothing to look forward to in lockdown. And lastly, all the changes Kate Garraway has made to her house for husband Derek's return. And now let's get right to it. Matt Willis has confessed he visited the Church of Scientology headquarters in London daily after being a bit lost in the world. Bassist has revealed that he secretly became a Scientologist while recovering from drug and alcohol addiction. The Buster star admitted he was fully invested in the church until they tried to separate him from his wife Emma. The 37-year-old bassist revealed that he was a bit lost in the world when he left rehab, and he was approached about the Church of Scientology as he walked down the street. Now, the church believes that humans are immortal and spiritual beings, and Matt admits that he was quickly engrossed in buying books and very nearly dressing up like them. According to him, he was pretty much vested in them for their work and everything they do until they started telling him that one of the biggest problems he has are the closest people to him, and that's when he started to question the motives. And in his statement, it believes that the Church of Scientology want people to only be friends with members and class them as their family. Although he said it took him a while to discover what was happening as they keep contacting him trying to get him to return, and in his first meeting about the church, he said he was taken into a building to undergo a Scientology process called auditing. Matt revealed that he felt like an idiot for falling for the process, but for someone who is struggling with alcohol and drug addiction, he wanted to try everything he could as the Scientology people were not big on taking drugs. He also admitted that he thought when he leaves them or when he was done with them, it will have, a whole new outlook towards life and having learned a new life lesson. But he just said he just kept buying things over and over and over at different points in time. And the star left the church after 3 months of study and warned people against checking it out as it's a very, very weird place. Let's just say Willis is giving us a whole different insight about their claim on spiritual enlightenment and whatnot. And according to him, this might be a no-no. Who knows? On to the next. Nikki Grahame passed away on Friday after battling anorexia, just weeks after her friends rallied round to raise funds for treatment for the Big Brother legend. Nikki Grahame's ex and former Big Brother 7 co-star, Pete Bennett, became emotional on Good Morning Britain on Tuesday as he remembered the late star. A close friend of his 38-year-old, Pete said he was still very speechless over the shocking news of a tragic death on Friday after a 30-year battle with anorexia. He also revealed that reality star was incredibly lonely during the coronavirus lockdown as she could not see her friends or visit the gym, meaning that coping mechanism to fight an eating disorder were not available. Pete had rushed down to meet her at the hospital a few weeks ago after learning that she was seriously ill, and a GoFundMe was also set up to raise money for treatment as she vowed to beat the disorder once and for all. And her mother, Susan, also recently revealed that her daughter was the worst she's seen her in a 30-year fight. The co-star Pete has shared his sadness over her death and also the shock after hoping that his love and support would be enough to save her, but sometimes, let's just say, your efforts might not be enough. It might just be that the person also needs their own will, not just your own love and support. So whichever way, I think there's no point in blaming each other or yourself when something like this happens. Speaking to Adele Ray and Kate Garraway, a clearly heartbroken and emotional Pete shared why lockdown affected Nikki, and he revealed that she had said she was feeling lonely ahead of her sad passing. And he had told the host that was because she was stuck alone in a North London home all by herself, and although he was lucky enough to stay in a place where there were still ways to interact with other people and visit the beach and other things, but she was stuck all there by herself, and she didn't have coping mechanisms around her, so there wasn't really much to help her fight. Well, honestly speaking, let's just say in this part of the world, eating disorders are things that people don't really pay attention to, probably because you don't get to come across it like a lot. But let's just say any sort of problem, be it mental or any sort of disorder, anything, are things that you should pay attention to. And yes, I don't think anybody should be blaming themselves whatever the outcome is, because it's like I said before, it's not only your love and support that is needed to make sure that whoever is suffering from this really wants to stay, but they also have to have a strength, or should I say will of their own to fight. And I'm not justifying it, but I just feel some people get tired along the way and you just can't do it anymore. So So what I will say is, if anyone is suffering from either of these disorders, I just say continue to find the strength to fight, continue to find the will to live. And lastly, Kate Garraway and her kids are quite ecstatic to have their husband and father, Draper, come back home after his year-long battle with COVID-19. And she has said she had to make a lot of changes to their family home to facilitate that return. After learning that her husband will be coming back home, the mom of two has reportedly spent thousands of pounds transforming a North London property in order to facilitate Derek's return at home. Due to Derek's 24-hour care requirements, Kate revealed that there will be plenty of healthcare workers on hand to support the family both day and night. At the time of the remodeling, Kate explained that they had an occupational therapist deal with the layout of the home, which included a lift, their lounge being cleared out into a living room, an alarm system in order to help Derek communicate with the family. Today marks a week in which Derek, her husband, who is UK's longest suffering COVID-19 patient, returns home after suffering from coronavirus, which he contracted in March 2020. And she also opened up about having an overwhelming first weekend with Derek back home. Speaking to a co-host on Good Morning Britain, she explained that why she was able to go to work was because there were carers at home looking after Derek. Although she's quite optimistic, she doesn't want to get her hopes up too much as well. Okay, first off, I'd say yes, she's doing a really good job, trying to make changes and accommodate her husband, who at this point might need a lot of special care and attention. But honestly, I would say there are a lot of people who are in worse off conditions. I mean, come on, she's able to have, the funds to change everything and, to help him, to accommodate him and help him heal faster. But what about those who are not having that sort of means, or in far worse conditions, or do not even have access to that full health care that she has? I'm sorry to say, but I feel now that it's home to heal and everything, she should just go private. There's no reason for her to be talking about it all the time anymore, or taking videos about it. She could just talk about it and say, oh yes, it's really nicely, how the process is going, and talk a bit about the healthcare workers, trying to help them. But I think that's about it. Now that he's home, I feel right now she should just keep it private. That's it today on CB. Just thank you for sticking around as always. Let us know what you think in the comment section. You're allowed to do that, or should I say we really want you to do that. On Instagram at cameraboy.tv, Facebook at cameraboyofficial, Twitter at cameraboytvng, and also like and subscribe to our videos on YouTube at cameraboytv. And you can also hit me up on Instagram as @_ONI, same thing on Facebook and same thing on Twitter. Until next time, guys, please keep staying safe. Bye.